Hello, this is Patrick Corcoran, and this is my Week 12 coding assignment. We were working on JUnit testing this week, and we are testing the following methods. The ability to add two positive integers to each other, and throwing a legal argument exception if one of those numbers is not positive, so 0 or negative. The other one, which is to create our own, checking if a number is even, and throwing a legal argument exception if the number put in is not even. And the last one was using Mockito to test a method that takes in a random number and squares it. And that random number is generated by another method here, the getRandomInt. And we'll pop over to our testing here. So for the first one, it's a parameterized test. So we stream in a whole series of arguments. So, the first two integers that we're going to add together, what our expected result is. And the false here is for whether or not we're expecting an exception. So we say false, and if not false, essentially meaning true, it runs the test. And if it comes back, not true, that means we're expecting an exception, and it throws up the exception instead. And as we can see here, this is our arguments that were streamed in, and all of those passed. It did exactly as it was supposed to. And then we ran two individual tests without the stream, asserting that these two integers will equal to 9, 40 and 50 will equal to 90. Both of those passed as well. So it's the two different ways of doing it, I guess, the individual assertions or streaming in arguments into an assertion and programmatically having it run through. For the one that I created, asserting that an integer is even or odd, actually very similar to the last one, just we're setting in one integer using the modulo 2. And if it's equal to 0, it's an even number, and if it doesn't, it throws up the exception. I kind of did the opposite of the last one. I did a not expecting exception. So while that's true, it'll run the test. If it's false, it'll actually throw up the exception. And these were the ones I ran it as a parameterized test, and I streamed in these arguments. And we got that to work there. The last one is the assert number is squared. So that's when we were spying on test demo, which is, we had this set up here, the before each. And then it runs the methods inside of the mock demo. But to make sure that we can test this, because the idea of this function here, the getRandomInt, is to actually return a random number. So the do return actually kind of short circuits that, and we tell it a value to use so that we can actually, make an assertion that a number, squared is equal to something. So this, time we give it 5, and 5 squared is 25. So we're asserting that the 5 squared is equal to 25. And we have that passed as well. So that was the week for JUnit testing. Thank you very much.